Hey, yo, it's your man, Shut Up Cole here from the beautiful Alexandria City Studios here for episode 49 of the world-famous Hentations podcast. Here with my illustrious co-hosts, and we have a special guest host here as well. Introduce yourself, gentlemen.
Yeah, it's your man's Unruly DW here. You know, back yet again, another week, another day, another dollar.
Nigga, we ain't getting paid for this shit. The fuck? What you talking about?
Free.
Not yet, man.
Not yet.
Not yet. You gotta speak it into existence.
Not yet.
It's like B. Simone said, you manifesting it, bro.
Oh,
Here you
Lord.
go. Here you go.
Oh, Lord.
Here you go. You know, we got 9 to 5. We got an entrepreneur here.
Exactly.
Anyway, it's your boy, They Be Geek and Leak, and we here.
It's your boy Darian, aka Clark Kent, and we back with the special guest,
Matt McGee.
Yes, sir.
What's up, y'all? Good to see y'all, man.
DMV's
Good to
own.
see you, bro. DMV's own.
DMV,
Man.
very own.
All right.
Come
So,
on,
yeah,
man.
give yourself
y'all
a...
know me before I wasn't nothing, man. Come on,
I'm about to
stop
say,
it.
man, I've seen the growth.
I'm about
So
to say, it's been a while.
I'm about to say.
That is true.
It's been a
I've seen
long
the girl.
time.
Long time.
I remember the first time Malik played some Matt McGee music in the car. That's it.
For real.
Everything.
I'm about to say, I thought it was a good story.
That was all I had.
Yeah,
I remember
there.
I remember it happened. That's all I remember.
All right.
Then
So
I
for people,
played some Pee Wee Longway. Yeah, my bad. Go ahead.
yeah, he played Pee Wee Long away back in 2011. Like,
Oh,
before
2011 was a different time.
when he was Pee Wee Shortway. So I mean, you know, shout out to that.
Go ahead.
But for the people,
Shortway.
sorry, my rim shot didn't
That
work.
was funny. I liked it.
But for the people who aren't familiar with your work, Matt, just give yourself a brief introduction, I guess.
Talk your shit.
All right.
Talk
My
your
name
shit.
is Matt McGee. I just dropped an album called Everything Starts From Now. I just tried to touch on a lot of different bases from my travels and stuff. You know, a lot of different sounds from a lot of different parts of the world. But my focus was to just, highlight Black music. So that's really what I'm pushing right now.
That's beautiful.
So when we
Yeah,
promoting
these
this, can we borrow that little intro joint from the album? These are the songs I
That's my
wanna
shit.
sing. Yeah,
That's
can we
my
borrow that?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my
Yeah,
shit.
no, I wanted to start the album off with that because like I was like, bro, these niggas not going to get it off the first listen. Like I feel like people not going to understand where I was trying to take it. So I just want them to know from the jump, this is what I want to
Mm-hmm.
do. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So I just wanted to start it off like that.
So Everything Starts From Now. How'd you kind of come up with the whole idea of the album? I love the title in itself. Like I was like, okay, this is the type
I
of
love
time
the titles to
this
all
dude
your
on.
album. Like every
All
one of
it's
your
like
albums,
perfectly timed.
like every one of your albums has like an idea, or like the
Yeah.
title's like an idea. So like I was gonna ask you, and piggybacking off Darian, like where do you come up with those like
With the titles,
phrases? Yeah.
it's really just like they're all timepieces. So like, so you go back to, I have a project called 1920. That was when I was 19, 20, and I was making the album, making a bunch of music, like just going around, just doing my thing in the whole like DMV music circuit, just trying to make a name for myself. And then I dropped it when I turned 21. So that was just like the completion of that cycle. And then you go to like, Since You're Watching, that was just, I felt like
That shit
at
is
that
great.
time, thank you, bro.
I
That shit
felt
is
like
great.
at
I
that
fucking love that album. I just want you to know that. That shit is amazing.
thank you, bro.
Yeah.
At that time, I felt like there was a lot of people that were just like looking at the things that I was doing, but they weren't really speaking about like how they felt. And it was bothering me a little bit, but at this point, it doesn't bother me. But I was just like, well, since y'all are watching, like, let me just fucking give y'all some more shit to fucking, digest. And then the last joint before it starts from now, and that was just that wasn't I felt like a lot of people in the DMV were kind of like trying to exclude me from the conversations of who's really doing shit in the DMV. And I've been doing my thing for a while consistently.
Talk your shit.
So like when somebody like deletes your number from their phone and shit, if you text them or you call them, it says maybe such and such. Like I may be deleted from your phone, quote unquote, but the phone remembers me. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm still solidified in this bit. So that's why I named it that. And then now Everything Starts From Now it's just like it was like since maybe in like in between those times of these projects, a lot of shit has happened. Like I've lost friends and you know, dealing with like relationships and family issues and things like that. A lot of things that mattered to me before don't matter to me anymore. Like I have a whole new mindset when it comes to why I do music, why I even am living. You know what I'm saying? So everything starts from now. It's like fuck all that shit from before. Fuck what you're planning on doing. Right now is what matters. What you're doing right now is really like important because you know nobody's talking about what you did before. Everybody's attention span is so fucking short. So you know, right now is really the most important thing, and that's where that came from. But it really came from the line in Juice.
I caught that Tupac.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, and that's I was telling y'all when we was off when we weren't recording. Like I've been just like paying attention to so much like Tupac, Death Row, that type of shit. Like I think like I was already hip to it, but I was like really studying it while I was making this project, just to see like you know what type of person he was and the things that he stood for and like how he you know asserted his dominance in this industry and things like that. Like those are things that I try to like draw from when it comes to you know how I'm moving and shit.
Damn, that's real. Damn, that was such an epic explanation of everything, and we came up with the Hentations name from a group chat, like from our group chat. Malik just said it one time, and you know there was no deep meaning, anything like that.
Nah, that's a hard ass name, bro. You know what's crazy? My dad, like, because I told my dad that I had to do like an interview with Malik, because you know my dad knows Malik and shit. So he was like, yeah, what's the name of the podcast? And I told him, he's like, what that mean? I was like, it sound like some nigga shit, like probably Hennessy inspired.
Hennessy inspired, man.
Yeah,
I mean, basically, that's what it is. But
yeah.
All right, well, glad to have you here. So I guess like we haven't done the toe segment in like well, I guess we have, but not officially. But I think we can bring it back now since the world is kind of, I mean, gosh, the world's still a pretty messed up place, but we are kind of getting back into
It's better than it was last week. Last time we recorded,
I'm about to
maybe
say.
kind of.
I thought the world was gonna end last time we recorded. Like last time we recorded, we were literally watching CNN and watching the protests. Like literally,
ATL
like pop
niggas
off.
Was going
wild, I'm about to say they was wild.
Y'all ain't go out there.
Not that first week.
I ain't go to Atlanta, nigga.
I went to.
Atlanta, I was.
This nigga.
See, I went out there when they was looting, so I went out there probably like 2 or 3 days after that. But like, man, I could talk about that shit all day. Like it was just like
that shit was crazy.
Like, it really was. And it was just like I appreciate the sentiment, but I just didn't like the fact that there were so many white people out there.
Yeah, I mean, like yeah. I was there Saturday, and yeah, like I mean, so like what struck me Saturday is, I guess, so like
was Saturday the one with T.O.B. out there?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I was out there too.
Yeah. So like, what struck me was like, you know, if you talk to like Republicans, or you talk to Trump, they think that like Black Lives Matter is like some organized thing where like there's like a CEO and a CFO and they have a headquarters here, and it's really not, right? It's more like an idea, and people are rallying. People are rallying under the company, under the banner of it,
and that's the beauty of it.
But my point is like when it started with Ferguson and what was that 2014, 2013, whatever. Black Lives Matter, that was a dirty word. I know just saying, like back then, just saying Black Lives Matter, like that would turn people off. People would look at you funny, definitely. Like you were like some radical ass nigga or whatever. But like now, like that shit is
Romney was out there saying
I'm
that
about to say, this shit is mainstream out here. And when I went into the protest, like, I mean, like that was one of the most diverse, like, what I said was, we've gone to music festivals in the past. And like that's what it reminded me of. There was like just a million people. You're ass to elbow with everybody, but like everybody there was like on like some love shit, right? Like nobody was like, "Oh, get out of my way," you know what I mean? No elbow. Everybody, excuse me, you know what I mean? Man. Like literally, like I never felt safer in my life, even with the threat of COVID out there. Like I felt safe. Like I think like nothing was gonna happen. Everybody was there. We were all for one goal. Like it was like literally every race, every sexual orientation, like that shit, like that really was like some life changing that shit. Like everybody there was for one cause. Like I mean, like the only time like there was like it wasn't even an issue. It was just like so they had the Mochella stuff that was going on, and they had and they were performing like in the middle in front of the White House, and then there were like these like super militant ass niggas with bullhorns and shit, and so they was there on like a little truck or a bus, and like everybody was there. So like the other people were trying to march through, and they were performing. Like this nigga came in with this bullhorn. This is not a festival. Don't forget what the cause is. Like this is serious.
Was it a white man that said that?
No, it was nigga. It was nigga. Like, okay. But like, I mean, but
you
like,
gonna get stomped out, Mo.
Yeah, I mean, they got through. But my point was like, they let him pass or whatever. Like that was like literally all them people out there. Like literally, we got there at like 6 o'clock. People have been out there since like before noon.
I was out there early.
Yeah.
I was out there early.
Yeah, and like I said, people were out there that whole time, and that was like the most like contentious thing that happened. Like that shit was chill. Like that's what blew my mind. That's how I knew this shit is different, bro. Like this shit is different. Like, and I was telling my my fiance that like I don't think
you engaged.
Oh yeah,
like
I gotta get in trouble.
This nigga stopped everything. Wait. We're gonna come back to your story.
Yeah, fuck what you got to say right
congrats.
now.
I didn't even know that, bro.
Yeah, nah, it was I think it was it's been about a month now, maybe a little bit longer.
Oh man, shit.
Yep.
That's what's up, man. I like that. I like hearing shit like that. Man.
I appreciate that, man. But yeah, like so I was telling her, I was like, I feel like I didn't even feel like scared against like the cops or the protests, because I feel like we have so much momentum on our side. Not that shit can't pop off, because like fucking Trump. If Trump got an itch to go take a fucking picture in front of White House lawn, they would have shot out grenades and shit. But my point was like I felt safe because like we got the public sentiment is on our side, like the wave is on our side. We completely went and took this shit, and I think like you're really gonna get change after this. Even I was talking to my dad like the other day, and he was like, "Damn, like I think shit's really gonna change after that." Like, and we can get into the rest of it later on, but like that shit really blew my mind. I was really happy to be out there. Dante, I know you went out there too. I'll let you explain.
Oh no, I was gonna say, you know why I felt safe? Because I know I can outrun some of these niggas if shit pop off.
That's
you can't outrun tear gas and rubber bullets, Dante.
I'm not saying, but they can't beat. To be fair, they can't beat everybody's ass. No, you just got outrun.
If you was rubber bullets only gonna hit one person.
There you go.
Listen, you were in front of the White House, were you not?
Oh, fam, I was right in front of the White House. I ain't gonna lie. I was nervous when they started shaking the fence when I was there, because I was like, bro, if y'all knock that fence down, we might have problems.
We might have been out there.
No, I was out there on Thursday. I was out there like a late night on Thursday, and niggas decided they wanted.
But no. Saturday they brought a projector. They brought a projector, and they was projecting shit onto the White House, and they had a spotlight. And they were pointing at the snipers on the building over there and shit. And I was like, damn,
do that shit to the sniper if you want to.
But yeah, like I felt safe because like I just feel like. Again, like you look at the polling, like it's just like the optics of everything, like compared to what it was like 5 years ago. Like if you speak out against Black Lives Matter, if you say anything crazy about it, you'll be in trouble. Like 5 years ago, if you had Black Lives Matter in your Twitter bio or whatever, like people will look at you like you crazy. Now, if you say anything against it, like you're like that might be it for you, right? Like if a politician come out and say, "Oh, Black Lives Matter is because that's what
he learned the hard way."
There you go, Drew Brees. Like Drew Brees. I don't think Drew Brees is. I don't think Drew Brees. I ain't never heard nobody say nothing mean about Drew Brees. That nigga been in the league since I was in elementary school, bro. I never heard nobody say nothing bad about him. No.
Yeah, but this is the time where everybody's real feelings are being exposed.
Yeah.
It's crazy because things are coming out every day, but I feel like this is the type of shit that we needed to know, because we need to know how these celebrities, quote unquote, feel about us.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? If you're not standing with us, then you're not standing at all, and we're not fucking with you.
Yep. Right. All right. Let's put a pin in that. Let's do the toast first, because I do want to get into celebrities. I think that's where we want to. I think that's where we want to go. Because goddamn, man.
10:04.
4.
Oh,
Yeah.
4. My bad.
Yeah. So let's get the toast out the way, and then we can get into celebrities because
I don't have a drink, but.
Oh no, that's fine, man. You can do virtual toast.
Okay.
Virtual toast celebration.
Cool.
All right.
I got 2 drinks aside.
Dante, have you retired your bit, or is it just we're just going to go?
Oh, my bad, guys.
Okay. Like you didn't have to do it, but you did it though. All right, who wants to give it a toast first?
Yo, man.
Wait, should we explain, Matt? You know what the toast is generally? I might say you ain't even explain it. I mean,
nah, give me it.
Basically, the Make a Toast segment is just like, it's always a lot of crazy shit going on, and it's so easy to point out the bad things like going on. So we made it a point to like each episode at the beginning, just shout out something good that you see that's going on, whether it's in like the world today, whether it's some in your family or some in your personal life, or shouting out your friends or
even
whoever
something
you have.
seen, whatever it is.
And so, just an example, I can kick it off. I mean, one person I wanted to shout out was Dave Chappelle. I mean, I'm sure, I don't know if y'all all saw the
I watched that shit as soon as it came out.
Yeah, man. I had to. Like, I was like, I was really curious, first of all, because I know Dave Chappelle is able to take like current events and turn it, kind of make you laugh out of it. So I was curious how he was going to attack this angle of George Floyd and everything that's going on right now. And honestly, like one thing, the reason I want to shout him out is because honestly, Dave Chappelle does not like, he doesn't care what everybody else thinks. He's going to use his platform to express how he feels. Sometimes he gets backlash for that, but in this case, like, it was so captivating. Like, here's a comedian dedicating his whole special to talking about this issue. And I know some of them people in that audience was like, damn, that's what I paid for. Like, come to see, like, but at the same time, like, he don't, like, he's going to speak on it.
So, yeah, I didn't even feel, that wasn't even like a routine. It just felt like he got up there and just like,
he was
just spitting, man. Like,
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there was like, what, 2-3 jokes? Like, maybe?
Right.
And that
was the first time I had ever seen him like that.
Yeah.
And it was like, it was hard to watch, but it was necessary.
Right. Yeah. That's how I felt too. Like, never seen Dave Chappelle like that, but he got in his bag. And like I said, the captivating is probably the best word I can use. I couldn't, like, he was hidden, like, on a different type of emotion. Like, usually laughing, but, you know, serious issue.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, it just, that was needed, right? I mean, it was like only 30 minutes, but like, again, there's like only like 2, 3, 4, like something that you can just describe as like a joke, you know, like a setup and like a build. Everything else was just him talking. And like, he's just funny naturally. So some of the times he says shit, it's just like, oh, that's funny.
It was funny.
But like, that shit was like real. It made you like think, right? Like, that was needed because like, you know, I mean, Dave Chappelle, like, I mean, like, he's always kind of been on like he's like been the one comedian I feel like who's tackled race like really well. Like, I mean, just being honest about race. And I thought he knocked it out of the park there. I mean, like, I know sometimes he can be controversial or whatever, but like, I thought he knocked that out of the park. So yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, anything else to add there, or do you want to go next toast?
That's my toast. Who's toast next? Who got up next?
I shall go.
Oh damn. Okay, cool.
Nah, you good?
You good, nigga?
All right. I'm gonna give my toast to the PG County Public School Board. They're trying to get police out of PG public schools. Like, they're taking steps toward doing that, and you know, it's a controversial thing because I think there's a law in Maryland that says that you have to have like a certain number of police in every school. But I think you know, and I don't think this is the episode we're gonna get into the defunding the police debate, but I do think like taking a step to getting, because you gotta think about it, right? Like, we have police in schools, right? Like, just the idea that we have to police our school, we have to have like armed people with guns in our school, and like I get it. Like, there's some schools like that, you know, whatever might be prone to violent outburst, but like, their idea is if you take police out of schools and you replace police with like mental health people or like counselors that can relate to the students on a personal level, instead of somebody who's just there as like, I mean, to be honest, like
authoritative force.
Authoritative or an oppressing force. Like, that is probably going to be more effective than somebody who's there with a gun or a taser or whatever, or like a cop has. And you know, and that's a controversial thing.
I think it really is. I think when it comes to shit like that, because I went to high school in Howard County, so that's a totally different like world from what PG County is. Right. So I think when you go to school and you have literal police officers there, it makes you feel like y'all are being like watched, like you're in jail.
Like you're expecting some shit to happen.
Yeah. And it's like it fucks with your mental. Like that'll make somebody feel like, nigga, they want us to do some shit. That's already putting you on the defense.
Right.
There you go.
So, and then and where I went to school at, we didn't have any of that. We didn't even have like, there was security, but it was probably like 1 or 2 security guards in the whole damn school.
Yeah.
So it's like, that doesn't, it doesn't even like make you think that, you know, I just feel like that just changed the dynamic of the student to faculty relationship.
It does. And to add on that too, like a lot
taking
of
the police out of it.
Yeah, out of the.
I was just gonna say, taking the police out of it will probably help.
Yeah.
And a lot of these schools already like a lot of them need like upgrading. Like a lot of these facilities are so old and run down. They already look like prisons from the outside. So like you had this feel of being
cop in that motherfucker.
Yeah, so it's like you in lockdown.
And there's already distrustment in the police force before all this happened, and then now they grow up seeing that,
bro,
and that triggers people, man. Like especially like, you know what I'm saying, like these kids grow up, they go to college, you know, and you know they go out or whatever happens, you know what I'm saying, and they see they're always just around police, and just grow resentment towards that. Like it might have been a bad experience with a police officer that was at this school, and it's now tainted their entire view on police officers in general.
Like I think it's such a I think like the mental health aspect of like that type of stuff is so like underrated, and we don't think about it enough. Like and take that away, you're talking about like high school kids where like your natural urge is to rebel. You know what I mean? And then like, but like you're just even if you're not a bad student, you see like a cop is in your school, and that you're like a teacher. You're like this. You're like that. You're an oppressor. You know what I mean? Like you're here to rule over me or whatever. And that's just such an American thing to me. And I'm sure there's other countries they might have that, but like that's such an American thing. We need, you know, it's so bad here. We have to have cops in our schools. Like if you like so many issues like with like police encounters boil down to mental health and how we just don't do enough to address mental health issues. Like having somebody who can go and, you know, you can say it sounds super liberal or whatever, just having somebody who's there who can relate. And I'm not talking about just having, you know, a sociology major from like freaking Harvard, some white woman come in. I'm talking about somebody who looks like those kids who come in and talk to kids that are having issues. Like I that could be invaluable. So I was really, really happy to see that. So good job.
That's a whole topic.
Yeah, I'm about to say you can get real deep into that. Yeah.
All right, who got the next toast?
I'll go. Mine is as much crap we give him is Reverend Al Sharpton. That's my toast gonna go to. As much as meme, as much as we talk about, what you mean, bro?
You taking more selfies?
We'll say, man, like I don't know if you guys watched or had the opportunity, you know, I don't know if you guys were working, but I was watching
the funeral,
the funeral.
Yeah.
And you know, like as much, like I said, as crap as we give Reverend Al Sharpton, he is always going to be either the good or bad voice of, you know, black person or black people, for give or take. I mean, he was the first one to go out there to talk to the you know, George Floyd family. He obviously did the you know, the sermon. And it was like a couple things that kind of just stuck out to me, man. Like he talked about, you know, how George Floyd had a knee on his neck, but he was like, man, that's not the first time that the black person had a knee on his neck. The black people have had a knee on their neck since they, you know, came in through slavery. You know what I mean? Like, and he was like, and we can't breathe. Like, you know what I mean? Like we're just asking for, you know, a fair chance. And then like, it's just like, you know, just shows, you know, obviously the systematic racism and, you know, the things that we go through. And I just think like those words like that, man, like has just resonated me since I watched it. It's just that, you know, all we're really asking and what we're fighting for Black Lives Matter is just, you know, a fair chance. And, you know, I got to really shout out to Reverend Al Sharpton, man, for, you know, just those words, man. Like it just, all it takes is a phrase or the words for people to get behind. And that definitely resonated with me. So I got to give him my toast, man.
Yep.
Shout out to Al, man. He like an OG in the civil rights. Yep. Sometimes that's for better or for worse.
A pimp name.
Hell yeah.
Yo, cuz. All right, Dante.
Yo, shout out to Travis Porter. Because I saw them niggas was having a concert down in Atlanta this weekend,
Yeah,
like in a parking lot or something like that.
It's a party pack.
Yeah,
it's a party
Shout out
pack.
to them niggas, bro. Let us never forget the Travis Porter cross so the Migos can fly, nigga.
Are they the A-Ladies niggas?
Yes.
Yes, I love that song. All right.
Yeah. Shout out to them niggas, man. Y'all had some real serious
Is Roscoe Dash part of Travis Porter?
No, nigga, he's not.
Nah. He's just a person.
You said
a person.
He was fucking with them though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Travis Porter was three random niggas.
He was fucking with them. Though.
Okay. I thought they was all one conglomerate.
No. It was that Atlanta time scene.
It's like how Migos was fucking with Skipper the Flipper.
Skipper the Flipper.
Way back.
Hey, see. This bring me back, man. Me and Max used to just fucking ride around listening to motherfucking Skipper the Flipper.
Bro.
Pee Wee Longway.
That was your bag.
Oh, man. Hell yeah.
That's lit.
Hey, Malik, remember Smash on Who?
Smash on Who?
Bruh, hey, that was my shit.
This is for the city. Hey, that's my shit, boy.
Bruh, Atlanta really was. Yeah, Atlanta been doing their thing for a long time.
Yeah, hell yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, that's the Mecca.
I got download
the Mecca for a little while
now.
Yeah, shit, man. Shout out to the.
So it's my go.
Yeah, it's your go, man. What's your toast?
All right. I want to toast to. It gotta be a specific person, or
no,
it could be a group, organization, like
idea, whatever you got.
Idea.
I want to toast to just Black people in general, and this is why, because we've been going through so much shit, especially in the past few weeks. But like, everybody's been talking about, like you got to read the room and.
Right.
Certain things that aren't appropriate to post and things like that. But now things are kind of getting back to the point where people are realizing that we still have to live our lives. We still have brands to promote. We still have money to make. We still have businesses to run and everything like that. So like because we're still living our lives, that doesn't mean that we are insensitive to what's going on. It's just, we still have to live.
Yes.
Right. And then it just clicked to me. It's like, for anybody that says Black Lives Matter, you still gotta fucking realize we still have lives to live.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I just want to like say that I really like have a real genuine love and appreciation for Black people in general, because like we go through so much shit, but we really like still have to live. Yeah. And we're doing that.
Yeah, no, that's so real, because like shit, man, like going to work, I mean shit, like I telework, but still, like, especially like last week and a little bit this week, just sitting, I work at a job where like I work in a corporate office, and there's 2 Black people, and I'm the only Black person under 30, so like I feel like alone, like basically, and like especially last week, just sitting at meetings and listening to, we did X amount of revenue this X amount of margins, and all that's great, but like I'm sitting there like, damn, dog, like the world is like a complete like tire fire right now, and I feel scared to talk about it, right? And like I feel like that's I feel like a lot of people, like, because most likely if you're a Black person, like if you work in a corporate job, most of the time you're going to be one of few Black people, unfortunately. That's just like an unfortunate, inconvenient truth of the whole matter. And, it's just like we got to endure all that. So we got to endure all this shit that's going on outside, all this trauma we see. Are people getting killed? Are people getting oppressed? And then you got to go to work, put on a happy face, smile, and, I'll get that deliverable done for you by the end of the day. Here, I'll send you this report, boss. Have it on your desk by 8 a.m. All right. Yeah, that shit is just like the cognitive dissonance that you have to have between the two, like the juxtaposition between the two is just like, it's crazy, right? And I feel like we've done that's just Black people adapt to shit, I guess, right? And that was another thing.
That's a perfect way to say it.
Going back to the protests, like literally, we were sitting there in the middle of a pandemic, and we came together, and like sat there, got together, and had a damn go-go concert in front of the damn White House, bro. Like, it's been a pandemic for 3 months. You can't go nowhere. You can't go to concert. Fuck it, we gonna just make our own concert. You know what I mean? Like in the middle of the White House.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if Trump was there, but like, you know, he probably was in his little bunker, you know, looking through the blinds and shit. So like, black people adapt to shit. And
you know what's crazy about the go-go thing? When I first went out there, I was like, it kind of bothered me because I was like, damn, bro, like people are really like treating this shit like it's a fucking concert. Like
yeah,
we're supposed to be out here for a reason. But thinking about it now, it's like that's just how we express.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like music is a spiritual thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? These are spiritual, like ritualistic things that we're doing. And if that's how we want to express and like, you know, get our shit off through music, especially a genre of music that is as black as go-go is,
black as
like
black as fuck.
like that's like like those are things that are necessary. Like those are things that we need to be doing. Like I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And that goes back to what I was saying about we still have black lives to live. So, you know, I really like, I'm glad that we could come together and do things like that. Cause you know, there was a point in time where you couldn't go to a go-go or anything go-go influence without some shit popping out.
Somebody
bro.
Fights
and that's whatever.
Yeah. And that's like, that's shit that we was hearing about and experiencing and seeing our whole childhood. So like for it to be what it is now is a whole, like, it's a beautiful thing to see.
I mean, like our politicians basically like vilified go-go for a period of time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
but
I mean,
now
like
it's the actual the music, the signature music of the city. Yeah. So
again, out of trauma, you bring up something beautiful, and I'm glad you said that. So I mean, shout out to black people. Like I mean, like I said, we've been adapting to shit for centuries, man. Like we just like
adapting
shit sucks, perfect. And you just adapt to it. Like, but yeah, we can transition over to I guess our main topic here. So
we can stay with this though. I mean,
I had something to say.
Go ahead. What you got? What you had to say was still black though. Go ahead. What you got, bro?
Take your time, Pastor.
Go ahead.
But anyway, nah, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got a different take on it though, because what was kind of like, you know, picking at me, man, was, and I was sitting down, I was talking to one of my boys, and I was like, man, like, you know, my vice president, or you know, like my job hasn't said anything about, you know, Black Lives Matter and all that other stuff. He was like, bro, like, he's like, look at it this way. You know, one, they could say something, and what if they say the wrong thing? Now they're going, you know, now we go down the wrong path, and, you know what I'm saying, we didn't mean it, now we got backtrack, and then, you know, that, you know, you got to take the, you know, the hit with that. Or they say something, and you're like, oh, but you didn't say Black Lives Matter, or you didn't say this, or you didn't say that, or you didn't really, real. You know what I mean? And it's like, you know, I think we got to, at the same time, kind of take some accountability, you know, on, you know, what we want and what we don't need. Like, I don't think you can please everybody at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, because if somebody says, hey, yo, all Black Lives Matter, and then everybody's like, okay, you just said that because, you know what I'm saying, you want to, you know what I'm saying, get the black, you know, purchasing power, or you want the black vote, whatever it is. Cool.
That's cool. So like, I agree with you, because like, again, this goes back to what I was saying earlier. 5 years ago, this wouldn't happen. Like my job, like give them credit, they released a mass email went out to every employee that said Black Lives Matter.
My job gave us off on Juneteenth, bro.
I mean, there you go.
Wow, that's so wild.
My job went super black. I was like, bro, I was already planning on taking off
for hundreds of years, bro. It's like, come the fuck on, bro. Like, it's just because it's a wave.
Yeah, but that's real. But like,
I'll ride that wave if I get off on Friday.
Yeah, like my boss, they released the email. Then my boss, like, you know, we sat there and had a frank discussion about it. It didn't start that way, but like she sat there and just listened to me. And I think that's the main thing when you would like with white people are listening. I think that's like don't try to sit there and talk, just listen, like listen to us. And, like, you sat there and listened. And again, that was good. And that's something that wouldn't have happened 5 years ago either. Like,
it's funny you said that. Yeah. I think we caught like the perfect wave.
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
Because like with everything being caught on social media and people filming stuff and all of our phones like being $1,000 phones at this point, like we're able to catch all these things and catch all these movements. And we have like even a lot of the older people who kind of went through, like my grandmother was talking about this compared to like the original, because she lived through the civil rights movement with Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, all that. And she said this is different because they're catching all these things. They're people are all these issues, like we knew about it, but now we see them.
Oh yeah.
And then she compared it like to when, and this was what made MLK's right. And this was what made initially made MLK's movement and that whole civil rights movement so powerful, because that's when they first started catching things on TV and you can see it. And so our generation of that is like the social media. People you post everything, you can post it instantly. And like, and I'm just proud. Like, this is a lot of people who've grown into this movement and kind of just threw themselves like into this movement. Like, a lot of people are saying like, dang, like when you turn into an activist, or when did everybody turn into an activist? But like, it's hard not to when you see all this stuff.
I'm glad you said that. So Malik, I do want to finish getting back to what you said though. So you said like you think it's kind of like, oh well, what if they say the wrong thing? When it comes to like companies, like the Premier League in England, they're starting back soccer on Wednesday, right? And like Arsenal and Man City are gonna play, and they're gonna have Black Lives Matter on the back of their jerseys. Cool. DC United, they put Black Lives Matter on the little on the field during practice. All these brands can do all that. That's cool, right? And if you say something, that's great. If you don't, whatever it look like. We can't get wrapped up in that, right? Though, like, so even if it's a bad message or not a message, that's like.
I feel like, but to your point though, I feel like we do though. Whether it be right or wrong, like I'll give you an example. Most recent one, Starbucks. Cool. Starbucks told the employees they can't wear any Black Lives Matter stuff. Cool. Now there's some history with Starbucks. Obviously, they have racism, in the coffee shop with the Wi-Fi and using the public restroom. Cool. But if you're gonna take your point. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying anything or saying something. You know what I'm saying? Like, is that like grounds for, I guess, quote unquote, being canceled or not being with the movement? It's like, are you with us? You with us or you against us? That type of thing. And I get it.
So yeah, but this gets back to what our main topic is. Like I'm more concerned about if instead of you letting your employees wear Black Lives Matter, whatever. I don't really care about that at all. That means nothing to me. But are you as a corporation, are you donating to Black causes? Are you coming out of your wallet? Like Starbucks makes tons of money and tons of revenue. I'm pretty sure they very profitable. I'm assuming that they give do dividends to their stockholders. Are they reinvesting some of that money into the Black community? That's what I matter about, like tangibles. Are they donating to politicians that are here for our cause? I'm more concerned about that more so than like performative stuff, or they're letting. And I think that's like we're expecting like a little bit much from like celebrities and brands and shit. Like I could care less about what you have to say as much more your actions go, right? And even then. And maybe I'm kind of reaching, trying to move it to the celebrity thing, but like brands specifically, I'm just more concerned about what you're like. If you are tangibly doing shit, sending money to charities, sending money to black causes, sending money to Black politicians that need it. Like that's what I care about. All the other stuff is just stuff that you can argue about on Twitter, and Twitter's not. Anyway, but yeah. So like I'm as far as like brands go, like. Again, like Twitter's not real life, right? Like if you canceling, you didn't put out a good enough statement, whatever. Like we can't worry about shit like that, man. Like I'm more concerned about I'm more concerned about what you really doing. Like if you out here, if Starbucks gonna sit there and invest $100K into they're based out of Seattle, or like whatever Black neighborhood is in Washington. I don't know, Seattle, Washington. That's more important to me than putting out a statement. Like every brand, like literally my damn email. Every time I go on my email, it's like.
Yeah, like, PetSmart sent me something.
Yeah, PetSmart. I'm like, cool.
What they say?
Is that Black Lives Matter? I'm
Black Dog Lives
Black
Matter.
Dogs Matter. All right, cool. Black Dogs Matter.
Everybody on their PR shit. Everybody on their PR shit.
God damn. I mean, WWE, Fanatics, Microsoft. I log on to Xbox Live and I see a Black Lives Matter thing when I'm trying to play Madden.
You get on Call of Duty as soon as you get on that motherfucker. The most racist fucking game.
And all that's cool.
Most racist fan base. Not to call it a game racist, but the fan base is racist.
I just want to see action, right? So I'm not gonna get worried. I'm not gonna get caught up in all that. You know what I'm saying? It's good if they want to do it, but I just
Yeah, to piggyback off that, I feel like it's good for brands to make a statement to make sure their stance is known, but you to make your stance known, you also have to put the action behind it. If you want to say that, if you want to come and say Black Lives Matter, without Black people, our brand would be nothing. You have to make sure that you fucking mean that. And has your history shown that?
Right.
Because if your history hasn't shown that, if you're historically racist, if you supported Trump, or you're, you know what I'm saying, like shit like that, like
there you go.
Yeah, those are things that we care about too. Yeah. You can't just fucking jump on the wave because this is what's going on now. What have you really been on this whole time?
Yeah, because if you look at it, a lot of these companies that we support, like just in everyday life, like you look at their CEOs and who they donate to politically.
Yep.
And they're gonna be donating to Trump. They're gonna be friends with Tucker Carlson on Fox News and Laura Ingraham and all that. So like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if that shit changes in November, no, go ahead.
No, I was about to say, like what you said about, your message doesn't matter as long as doesn't matter, but like what you give is more important. Your message actually does matter quite a bit, because I could like it's not nitpicky, but it's like, yo, if you know how to read a message, I can sit here and pick apart your message and really see how you feel about the issue. Because the biggest issue with a lot of these messages is they all say Black Lives Matter, but they don't put the blame in a specific place. Like, yo, for a lot of these people, the blame, I mean, I don't know how to say no offense or whatever, but the truth is the truth. The blame goes to police and those type of institutions and those type of things. They don't put the blame anywhere. They just say, yo, Black Lives Matter, we support Black people. But it is one of those
as well.
Yeah, exactly. And it's one of those things where they're tiptoeing a lot of those things. And it's like, yo, that's why people give a lot of credit to like Ben and Jerry's, because Ben and Jerry's, like,
they build the shits.
You are full in. You can't just have your toe in it.
Yeah, Ben and Jerry's like swims in the pool. They don't just dip their toe in, like Malik just said. Like, yo, they are with it. So that's why I will say what you say does matter, because I ain't gonna lie. When I read these statements based off what I do, I just like, yo, I can read them and just say, all right, there's like 2 or 3 buzzwords that you need to just have in here if you really want to show what you're about. Otherwise, you could just write one of these messages. You could write it real nice and real fluffy, and it just makes it seem like you support Black people. That's it. But it's more than that. My bad.
I'm glad you said that. That's a good point. Like, that was a bad choice of words. I shouldn't say doesn't matter. It does matter. That's the point of it. But like in the long term, like the long game, I want to see like the actions, like the Boston Red Sox baseball team. They just came out and said, listen, our fans are racist. Our fans are racist. Like, just them coming out and saying that was crazy, right?
That's because Torrey Hunter put them on blast.
Torrey Hunter put them on blast. But my thing is, though, that's good. But like, whenever they let fans back in, and like, I'm trying to think, and like, the White Sox come to town. What's the guy's name? Tim Anderson, who pimps the home runs every time he hits one. When he hits a home run and a fan calls him a nigger when he's trotting around third base, I want him kicked out and not allowed to come back to another game, right? Let's be about it, right? So I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, that shouldn't have been funny. I'm sorry.
I know it shouldn't have been funny, but I just know it happens so much.
The way you described that, Joe, was hilarious.
My whole thing with this whole being canceled and what you saying, being held accountable for what you say, I think it's important. Like, a lot of people like are quick to cancel somebody, but for me, I think it's how you move forward, bringing it full circle. Everything starts from where you are now. Like, 9 times out of 10, exactly. 9 times out of 10, a lot of these big corporations, like, they don't have a history of supporting Black causes. It's because of, like we were saying before, so we have so many more ways of holding people accountable. We're able to look up what people invest in. We're able to look up or post when police do certain shit. We're able to we have more tools at our disposal now. So now people are like, okay, if I don't say something now, if I don't put out this little message saying Black Lives Matter, even though I have a history of not even hiring Black people, like, they're gonna shut me down, because that's the growing power of, like, you be talking about, say what you will about social media, but that's the power that's brought. Like, in the digital age where we at right now. But I just think it's important, like just how you move forward, like even when you say some stupid shit, even if you come out with some of these statements like some of these so-called influencers and celebrities are doing, I think it's how you move forward after that. A lot of them apologize what they said like probably the day afterwards, but at the same time, if you coming off like all defensive and you're not really learning, like that don't really mean shit. And 9 times out of 10 on Twitter, even if you do apologize, niggas is still like roasting your ass anyway. Like they're gonna say what they're gonna say, like little you can do.
Twitter is treacherous.
It really is.
They are treacherous, bro.
Everybody.
Like literally, I'm talking
Twitter's
about.
unforgiving.
I'm talking about they finding tweets from 2013 on niggas, like, you know what I'm saying? I do like a fucking monthly search of old tweets of mine just to make sure that I didn't do crazy shit back in the day.
For real, man.
Like, all right, so you brought it up. You brought it up, Darian. So like, it's like Matt, like, you know, as an artist, like, how you feel about like, I mean, like, like all that cancel culture you have to navigate, and then like speaking up in situations like this, and like how do you navigate that as an artist?
Well, I know in my heart and soul that I've never done or said anything that goes against pretty much my general principles now. You know what I'm saying? Like I've always been pro-black. I've almost anti-white at sometimes. I've always been like supportive of women, especially black women, and you know, just things that you know, people look for now. So, and I've never been like homophobic or anything like that. Like these are things that are like so fucking like prominent now that I can say that I've always been conscious of that. So for me personally, it doesn't really worry me. I don't really fear being canceled or anything like that, because, you know, for the most part, everybody that knows me knows what I'm about. Like they know what side I'm on. You know what I'm saying? And my stance from the jump has always been, nigga, mind your fucking business. Like,
right.
If you're, you know what I'm saying?
So
like
many problems would go away if niggas mind their fucking business.
Bro, exactly. Like, bro, it's like, hold up. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we get you.
Yeah, my bad, I got a call. But it's like, if you it's like, why are you homophobic? None of that matters. What this person does with their body and who they love has nothing to do with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, so just mind your business.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, that's one of the main things that I fucking realize when it comes to this shit.
And the last question,
yeah,
and the last question I want to give you is, so as art, do you feel the need, like, so like the main topic of the episode we wanted to get to, we never got to it, was like with celebrities. Like my thing is always, I think we put too much on celebrities or people with influence to go out and speak about shit. And because like my thing is, I feel like with like an artist or like a basketball player, I think we need to consume them just on what they give us, right? Like you go, like my example was, you go to Five Guys, somebody makes you a burger and you make your fries. That's cool. Thank you. Burger, fries. I don't know what you do at home. That doesn't concern me. I think it should be the same way with like artists and athletes and all that. And if they want to speak up about shit, that's totally cool, right? And if it's something I agree with, cool. If it's not, I ignore it. Like, do you feel like obligated, like as an artist, to do it? Because I feel like we should get away from expecting people that we like, listen to their music, whatever, expecting them to tell us how to feel about situations like this, or put a stock in how they feel.
I personally don't feel obligated to do anything. Just, you know, that's just the type of person I am. But the way I feel about this celebrity thing is a little different, because I try not to give celebrities too much power.
There you go.
When it comes to things like this, because I know different people deal with things differently. So if like Kendrick Lamar, for instance, that nigga hasn't said anything, but he was out there protesting.
Exactly.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that. Like if they don't say anything, I'm not really questioning their stance on it, because they could be just not, they may not want to say anything, but that doesn't mean that they don't feel any way. That doesn't mean
like Jay-Z or something like that, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So it's, I try not to give like, bro, at the end of the day, celebrities are just regular fucking people.
Thank
too.
you.
Exactly. Some of them real young. Some of them young.
Yeah.
They're just average, they're normal people, right? And like that's what I'm saying. Like with B Simone, everybody was sat there drag B Simone and like Trina, all these people. Like what they said, whatever. You just, but it's the end of the day, like who cares, bro?
This is
like
a fucking one opinion out of a million, bro.
Exactly.
I'll say this though. I do believe that that celebrities shouldn't be like, they shouldn't be given that much power, but these are grown ass people. So if you say something that is an immature thought, something that you know damn well that what you're saying is 100% wrong, you just want to fucking speak your unpopular opinion for whatever fucking reason, then you should be held accountable.
Yeah,
so
I can get with that. Yeah.
So when everybody's doing the whole canceling thing, I see both sides, because these people should definitely be held accountable.
Yeah.
Now when they come back hours later and they do their apology videos and shit like that, like
sorry
that's
guys.
not the that's not the way to go about it, because it's like, nigga, the way you had so much fucking passion when you said that shit a few hours ago.
Like hours ago.
Everybody's now that everybody's
on your ass.
like, yeah, bro, like that's not how it goes. Like Desi Banks for example, like that's like, I love his content. I love that nigga's video. But he did what he did, and he tried to, apologize a few hours later, and now he's trying to like get back into the swing of posting content on the regular basis. But it's like, bro, you gotta chill out. You have to chill. Like these niggas is still that's still a touchy thing. What you said still upset a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? So it would be in your best interest to relax right now.
Just chill out.
You know what I'm saying? Sit back, watch, learn from what you did, from what you said, learn why it affected people, and then when the time is right, come back. But I don't know. Like I feel like this is just showing like how dependent on social media a lot of these people are.
Right.
And without their following and without the people fucking with them like that, they're nothing. Not saying that they're lesser humans, but they feel like they don't have anything to offer anymore because nobody's fucking with them. And it's like, bruh, you gotta live real life for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? If you get quote unquote canceled in the social media world, then you have to step back and evaluate yourself in real life.
Humble yourself.
And then humble yourself, bro. Like, you get 1 million followers, that any regular person that gets 1 million followers, that shit is going to do something to you.
For real. Like, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That shit is going to do something to you. Anybody in this chat, including me, if anybody here gets that amount of looks, that shit is going to do something to you. It's going to make you feel differently than it did before. It may affect you positively, it may affect you negatively, but your view of the world is going to be different because the world's view of you is different.
That's real.
So,
deep as shit.
So you have to be mindful of that shit and like just make.
I'm glad. Yeah, I'm glad you said that. Yeah. I'm about to say because I mean like you're right. If you do have that, there is a sense if you have that platform that you do. There's like great power, great responsibility. Like still Uncle Ben. Like
I say Uncle Ben. The fuck?
I mean, just even in general, man. Like if you say something like like I said before, like people like everybody. Well, some people deserve a second chance. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you have to be held accountable for what you say, what you do, and how you move forward after you make that mistake.
I just think as consumers, I think it should be like from our side, it should be just, oh, damn, that's really stupid what you said. All right, cool. And then like instead of it just being like a thing that just like festers and grows like wildfire all of a sudden. Because at the end of the day, like what like B Simone everything they said, there's like a million other just random people on Twitter that said the same thing, right? And just somebody see that and you're just like whatever. It's just because they're a celebrity though that it festers and it boils.
That's because they think it matters.
You're about to say. That's what I'm saying. Like,
and they got more eyes. They got a bigger audience that are there to judge them for everything they do.
I mean, we're coming up on time, but I just think in general, like not just like the the George Floyd stuff, but dating back just to the beginning of Corona, like I feel like just the disconnect between just average people and celebrities is starting to grow. Like, I mean, just not disgust the celebrities, but just like, damn, y'all are just so like this. Like Matt said, like once you get to that certain amount of clout, whether it's followers or it's money, like you think differently. You change. It's like I mean, like shit. It's like what's the word?
Like
Socialism. Like the concept of socialism isn't even about race. It's more so just about class. Like once you get to a certain class, you're a class above everybody else. Like that. I mean, you can be the same skin color as me, but like if you make, whatever, you make your little mill or whatever, the same issues that affect just me making, 60, 50, 70K a year is different than you, and your mindset is different. Yep. So I think it's a positive. Like if we kind of get away from the stan culture, celebrity culture, all that, because it's just like
just recognize people are people. Like these are just people. Make
you can have your favorites. You got your favorites, like, yo, I love watching him play basketball, play baseball, like the way he raps, like the way he acts, he cooks food, whatever, but just leave it at that. And if they want to do more and their social like views align with yours, even better. But if not, just I don't know.
Yeah, it just makes me uncomfortable when people just say like ridiculously stupid things. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it just makes me uncomfortable because it's like, are you really that tone deaf? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like how can you see what's going on in the world and say what you said?
Exactly. See, already see the reactions. Already, you can already predict the reactions you're gonna get. Like, and you still say the stupid shit. And that's why I applaud. Like, a lot of people criticize like Beyonce and Jay-Z for not really necessarily always saying certain things. But like at the same time, you got a good team around you that's like, hey, maybe you shouldn't speak on this and lose no heat for it.
I think shutting the fuck up is one of the best things a celebrity can do.
Oh, hell
most of the time, just not saying anything is probably works out better.
But let me tell y'all something. I have a close friend that DJs for a celebrity, and he was telling me, he was like, bro, I was talking to him, and he was asking me like, should I post something? Like, I don't know if I should like speak out about it. And my man was telling them like, nah, don't say shit, because right now it's like there's so many ways that you saying whatever could go wrong. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? If you say something, then somebody be like, nah, but remember when you did this?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, then it just diminishes everything that you were trying to do, and like, you know what I'm saying? So in some cases, being quiet is okay. Like, you know what I'm saying?
No,
in some cases, just shutting the fuck up is the best thing for you to do.
Right.
And I personally don't fault anybody for that. Like if one of my favorites hasn't said anything, then I'm like, all right, well, that doesn't make me look at them any differently, because I'm just going to assume that they are wishing for the best. You know what I'm saying? I'm a pray for the best when it comes to that person. But saying something, doing a whole like going on a tangent and doing a whole Twitter thread and all that shit, that can go wrong really fast.
It can.
Bro, we all just need to be like Dave Chappelle, bro. At a time like this, who cares what Ja Rule think? That's what it all comes. That's what it all comes down to, bro.
That shit was on point. Like, let the streets. What do you say? Let the streets talk. Like he said.
Fam, have you heard anything from Gucci Mane?
I don't need to hear nothing from
Do you care what Gucci Mane think about this situation?
He not with Atlantic Records no more. That's what it's.
Oh, he
that's
not
what I heard
dead,
about.
Bro.
Nah, he said fuck them crackers.
Gucci been kind of vocal. He been kind of vocal.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't pay attention to Gucci feet.
That's your problem, bro. That's one for the peons.
Do you care what Future thinks about this?
This one for the peons. What? Yeah, I care what Future got to say.
Why?
It's like, nah, fuck with you. No.
All right.
I don't want Future to speak on
this. I don't need him to. Please. I'm okay. Just shut up, bro.
Like somebody could really stop Lil Wayne from talking. Like I think that'd be a great idea.
I need Future to bag Melina and then break up with her, just like he did Scotty. He broke up Scotty and motherfucking
Oh my God, that was so dark.
I'm just saying, that's what I need Future to do. He need to get him.
Wait, what'd you say the president's wife's name was, nigga?
Was it Melania, whatever Trump? Whatever
said Melina Trump, nigga. That's
whatever the fuck it is.
Wow. I don't.
Hey,
yeah,
Malik.
Okay.
How you feel about Lil Wayne right now, bro?
I'm about to say
Hey,
that's
bro,
your
that's your
nigga,
man,
bro. How
bro.
you feel, bro?
That's your
I'm
man.
embarrassed. It's the codeine, man.
This
Bro,
strike 2
hey,
for his ass too.
And hey, look, hey, what I found out what fucked me up. This fucked me up. Y'all heard the story about Lil Wayne shooting himself, right?
Yeah. I know where you're going with this.
Bro. The cop got fired for some racist shit.
Yep. I saw that.
I'm talking about this whole time, all these years, this nigga Lil Wayne was pushing this. Yeah, man, a white man said
They quoting that shit. Yeah.
No, because
He did it.
Oh my god!
The behind the music for Lil Wayne, they interviewed that cop. He seemed like a nice little cop. Bro. They call him like Uncle whatever. It turned out he was calling everybody.
Uncle Bob.
He was calling him. Bro, he was out there in New Orleans calling niggas all types of niggas and all types of shit. Like,
you a nigga, baby.
That shit fucked me up because I'm like, bro, Lil Wayne was really like caping for this nigga.
Lil Wayne's still caping for this nigga, bro. That's the weird part. He's
bro.
Still
the thing is, bro, I guarantee you,
this nigga brain cells.
I guarantee you, Wayne don't know nothing about that nigga getting fired. He probably think he's still a cop and he out there saving the world. I guarantee you.
Now that's the dangerous part of having a bubble, but I mean, we can't get into that. That's the dangerous part of having a bubble.
Yeah,
you're not associated.
That's the dangerous part about Son Young too.
Lil Wayne being in that bubble is really dangerous. Bro. It's really dangerous, and I wish for his sake and for for the people that support him, I wish he would step out of that sometimes and really fucking pay attention. Just pay attention to what's going on.
Just keep your head low and listen.
It doesn't take that much work. Paying attention and being aware, that shit does not take that much work, bro.
Nigga, turn off ESPN, bro. That's really all it takes.
The thing is, though, bro, when you a multi-millionaire, everybody been telling you it's the greatest shit ever. At a certain point, you just think, shit, fuck that. I mean, I'm the greatest. Like, fuck what all the rest of these niggas saying. Like, I mean,
we
like,
were just talking about that.
Yeah,
so
that shit when we let that nigga cook for saying F is for phenomenal, that's when that nigga knew that he was beyond anything that we could say, bro.
Jesus, I love that.
That was a great fucking.
All right. Let's bring it in for a landing here. All right, so I think we that was a real good discussion here for episode 49. So I guess we don't need a moral of the story here. I think we got all the morals. We got all the morals. Like,
the moral of the story is everything starts from now.
That's what it is.
Yeah, man.
Go stream that shit as much as possible. So good shit.
Oh yeah, Matt, flex real quick. What's it on?
Yeah,
what's it on? Give all the platforms, all that.
Everything.
Yeah,
everything.
My album, Everything Starts From Now, is out on all streaming platforms. If you're not following me on Instagram yet, follow me, Matt X McGee. My Twitter is Matt McGee. Everything you need to know about me is there.
Yeah, so go check that boy out.
Yeah, so check out our man's
Definitely go listen to that joint. That's all I listen to when I'm in the cars, between that or some Freddie Gibbs. It depends on if I want to feel like I'm selling crack one day or if I want to listen to Matt.
Depending on the vibes.
It depends on how I'm feeling that day. What am I doing?
That fucking hurt. I just got a splinter. But I wanted to say, before we get off this joint, I know y'all niggas for years. Like a long, long, long time. That's why when Malik asked me to do this shit, it was a no-brainer.
Yeah, appreciate
you know
that.
What I'm saying? Like I was like, bro, for sure.
Definitely appreciate it.
Like, just let me know when, where, like what I gotta do. But I really appreciate y'all for having me, bro, because like it's not often that I get to talk to people that I actually have known for a while. People that have known me for a long time. And seeing like, the different stages of the lives that we live. You know what I'm saying? So I really do appreciate y'all having me.
No, appreciate you for coming on, man.
Definitely appreciate you coming out, bro.
All right.
We're pulling up on the phone. We appreciate that.
Yeah, about to say.
Oh yeah. You already know.
All right. So it's your man, Shut Up Cole here from and this. I'm pretty sure this is gonna be the last virtual meeting. The next time we record,
next time we in person. Fuck it.
We live, baby.
We're gonna be live next time.
No,
we live, baby.
I'm gonna come fuck with y'all. I'm gonna come fuck with y'all one of these times, bro. For sure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Definitely, bro.
Hey, and we get you some Hennessy and Coke, baby.
Hand dog.
Y'all gonna have to change that. Y'all gonna have to change it to Deuce or something.
Do
Oh,
say
nigga, that's not even
black
problem.
excellence.
Sorry.
You ain't saying nothing but a word, man.
I'm about to say, man. We just looking for the right sponsor. That's
We
all.
just look at we changed it to Deucetations.
Oh,
You know what I'm
damn,
saying?
listen,
Whoever
man. We'll be the Bud Lightations if the bag is big enough. Bud Lightations.
Whoever ready to check, cut the check.
Bud Light ain't black excellence. We ain't gonna say that.
Nigga, I'll be an absolutation if they pay.
About this.
They paying whoever cutting the check, man.
All right. Yeah,
it's your man's Unruly DW. Shout out that nigga Lil Baby too. He put out a song
Bigger
about
picture, man.
Yeah, bigger picture.
Nah,
yeah.
He did his thing.
Yeah, shout
He
out
killed
to that
that
song.
joint.
That's a random thought that came to me. I should have said that earlier today, but shout out to that
a great fucking song, bro. God damn, I listened to it like 3-4 times. But anyway, it's your boy, They Be Geek and Leak.
It's your boy Darian, aka Clark Kent, and these are the Hentations.
Damn, that's smooth.